meant, and I use the term loosely. Today is Wednesday or Thursday. Today is Wednesday. Uh, Doing a follow-up video on the Servi-Car Part 1 video that went out Sunday morning. Interesting comments about the carburetor especially. So let's get into it. Okay, here's a guy, David. Interesting in seeing the rest of the rebuild. Well, and just a spoiler for you, I'm not rebuilding it. I'm just getting it running and driving. That's all I'm going to do to it. He had a Ducati Desmo 250 as a teenager. Had a Del Orto with the square slide carb. So you got round slide carbs, square slide carbs, flat side carbs. Is there a shape they can't use? Apparently not. Return spring was more like a valve spring than something belonging on a carb. And yeah, that was a pretty stiff spring on there. Round slide carbs tend to have stiff springs on them. I don't know why, but they do. And my buddy Enemy ILAF, interesting video on the carb. Never saw one of those. When you showed all those brass jets fittings, all I could think of was how many were going to break while trying to remove. Yeah, believe me, I was sweating that because, well, I got a Mikuni sitting on the bench here out of this bike behind me, and it was a son of a bitch getting those brass jets out of there without sticking them up too bad. So yeah, brass and aluminum, they're in there a long time. They get a little corroded. They're hard to separate, and you will strip them right off. I was very lucky those all came out easily enough. Yeah. Oh, here's a guy, Jack Films. He has two Servi-Cars. You poor bastard. A 47 and a 72. He likes the electric start. Fun bikes. Won't win many races. That is for sure. That thing is slow. You know, I was more than a little cautious on the test drive for that. But yeah, they're pretty pokey. They do have decent torque, though. I was a little bit surprised at how much torque it actually had. You know, to each his own. He has a comment on the carb, too. He says he likes Linkerts the best. And I've owned a couple of flatheads. I had a K model flathead and a 45 flathead, and they both had Linkerts on them. And, you know, Linkerts, the old brass Linkerts, I'm not so fond of the DC type Linkerts that Sportsters had on them, but the brass bodied 3 and 4 hole Linkerts, those were actually pretty good carbs, and they worked pretty well on those bikes. I liked them too. Talking about spark plug wrenches, Jim H. Mod, Harbor Freight double-ended offset, 7/16 on one end for spark plugs. Yeah. And you know, I used to have a 7/8 45-degree offset, and I used to use that on my old flatheads, and they did work pretty good. I don't know what happened to that wrench. I can't find it anywhere. I don't know. I lost, got stolen. Who the hell knows? And just as a side note, the 45 flathead I had, the spark plug hex was 1 1/8. So yeah, they do come in more sizes than people are used to seeing. And John Kawas over here. There was the part in that video where I was talking about the accelerator pump passageways, and he caught the what I was trying to do over there. I was talking out loud, and you know, it didn't make any sense. And finally, I got it figured out there, and that part went on the video in full, unaltered fashion, pretty much. And I did kind of a stream of thought narration on that, and overlaid audio on top of it to kind of highlight my confusion. So I could tell you for sure, no AI was used in the creation of that part. That's for sure. And Douglas Ankrum, carbs are pretty good being a round slide. Heavy on the return spring. He also comments. and a lot of tuning options. And yes, there were a bunch of tuning options. Um, that carb was a PHM 38, a whole bunch of different jets in there, high speed, low speed, intermediate air jets, I don't know. Different accelerator pump nozzles, too, determined there. Um, and I got a comment on that, too. Del Orto made those, and they used a version of that on the XR750s, two of them. Um, I don't know whether it's the same version or not. Uh, but I think when Del Orto manufactured that carb, they purposely made a lot of variables on it so that it could work on many different models of motorcycle. And I suppose, Harley went to Bendix in 67, I don't know, somewhere in there, and said, we need a car for a Sportster. And Bendix said, well, give us, RPM, displacement, compression, amount you want to flow, blah, blah, blah. And they made a carb that fit that bike and just that bike, although you could make it fit a big twin and probably some other things. But, that was purpose designed for a V-twin Harley, whereas that Del Orto probably could work on any one of a number of motorcycles, probably many, 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 many different models. So you need a lot of tuning options to make it work. So in that respect, it makes sense. And just FYI, V-twin still has, I don't know about their catalog, but online they still list Del Orto carburetors and a Del Orto kit for putting one on your Sportster. They're all either unavailable or discontinued or back ordered, so even though they're there, I don't think you could get one, at least not anytime soon. But there's plenty of those floating around out there, and some of the people I've talked to and some of the things I read say that that actually is a very good carburetor for a Sportster. And I believe it. I've never personally installed one or run one, but I got to suspect they're very similar to the Mikuni, the VM38s. And I got a Mikuni on one of my bikes, which I hope to get out a little later this summer and drive it around for you. But I got a Mikuni on one of my bikes, a VM38 round slide. Works great. Starts easy, runs good, runs smooth, idles great. So the Mikuni and the Del Orto, very similar round slide construction. I suspect they perform similarly. But yeah, you tell me it's a good carburetor, I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of other people say they're good carburetors. Another guy, never heard of the Del Orto before. Is it an original? No. From the factory carb? No, not at all. Original would have been the one of the brass slinkers. Bernie says, thanks for the video. Now I know what carb not to run. And I wouldn't go that far with it. I would say that it's a carb I would choose not to run. But like I just said, there are people who say they perform very, very well. So don't rule it out. I would rule out trying to tune it. If you got one that was, a hand-me-down and was set up to run on, I don't know, some other type of motorcycle, getting the jetting figured out for a Sportster probably would be a bitch. But then again, I bet a few phone calls to the right places, somebody could tell you where to start on it anyway. But like I say, some people say they're actually very good carbs for a Sportster. Yeah, William Price tells me a good old box end wrench would have got the plug out, and he's absolutely right. I've used them before, and they do. Let's see. Here's a guy, Calvin, says a 5-inch crescent wrench fits his plugs. Yeah, and here's something interesting, okay? Apparently it's a 6-volt bike. So he uses a 6-volt to 12-volt converter to power an analog GPS speedometer and a tachometer, and all the electrical is 6 volts. A 3-wire generator has no separate voltage regulator, and he's right about that. Harley made a 3-brush generator, 6 volt, and the third brush rotated around the armature, and you could adjust it to whatever position it needed to be in to pick off your 6 volts. Back in the 30s and the 40s and probably into the 50s, that probably was not a bad idea. Simple and reliable. Well, I don't know how reliable. Simple. And Billy Payne comments, XR1000s had Del Ortos. Yes, they did. And John comments on the Springer. The late three-wheel 45s did not come with the Springer, did they? Buffalo cops used those trikes even in the winter. Yeah, and the Chicago cops used them most of the winter too. I mean, I'm sure there were some days, being from Chicago, there were times when it could be brutally cold. Not always, but there was a couple of weeks a year where it could just be brutally cold. Most of the time, 30s, 20s, 30s. Yeah, I've ridden in the 20s and 30s. Not fun, but if you had to do it, you could. And on a three-wheeler with the big windshield and a snowmobile suit on, probably survivable. Probably not fun, but probably survivable. But anyway, he talks about the Springer. Yeah, the later three-wheelers had a Hydroglide front end starting in 62 or thereabouts. That particular bike was a conglomeration of at least a couple of years. I had the front wheel off and was having a hard time getting parts to drive up. Eventually, my buddy up in Kansas City, Don, came up with the picture that fit what I had on there. And the front wheel was actually a rear wheel off of something else. Probably a big twin, I'm guessing. The front brake was not like any front brake that I saw diagrams or parts blow-ups for a Servi-Car. So front brake was some kind of morphodite. Front end was a Springer, should have been a Hydroglide. The Springer was probably off of a big twin, and Don told me one of the ways you could tell is on a big twin, the rockers are on the outside of the fork legs, and on the 45 Springers, the rockers are on the inside of the fork legs. So that one had the rockers on the outside. Whether you could convert one to the other, I don't know. But anyway, seemingly a big twin front end off of some other year. Front brake, some unknown origin on there. I'm not sure, but I don't believe the engine matched the frame. It had that electric starter on there, which didn't come out until 65 or 67. I thought it was 67. Somebody, I think, on the Patreon site corrected me and said it was 65, and that may be. I know it wasn't stock on a 62. That's for sure. So, yeah. And another guy comments, yeah, he doesn't recall him having ape hangers either. Larry comments, the Del Orto makes his Super B look like child's play. I've never tuned a Super B, so I don't know. I know the S&S's in general, I find a little problematic to tune. There's at least 3 jets in there, maybe 4. You could tune the accelerator pump. Anyway, I like Bendix's. Simple, easy to do. You get the fixed jet the fixed jet version, and there's one jet, the main jet. The low speed, you just turn the needle. There's not really a jet. It don't get any simpler than that. So that's why I like Bendix. I think they work well. And Richard comments that a lot of 45 carburetors were changed over to the 38-9 Mikuni. And yeah, like I say, the 38-9 Mick runs great on my Sportster. It seems like it may be a little big for a flathead, but it probably can make it work good. Thomas comments on my spark plug socket, said I need one with a hex on top. And yeah, that would have worked too. Yeah, that would have worked too. I'm not hesitant to grind up or cut up or weld a tool when I need one. I have quote unquote the good tools. I did not have a junk spare 7/8 inch wrench to cut up and weld and grind flats on and blah blah blah. Otherwise, I would have done that first And another Thomas says I should have machined some flats on the top of that new socket. Yeah, I could do that. That'll work, yeah. That was a Craftsman socket that I ended up getting. And like I say, I don't mind cutting those up when need be. Tool steel in a socket can be a little difficult to machine, let me tell you. Uh, and I have a whole drawer full of junk sockets out in the machine shop. And no offense intended to you Oriental import kind of using guys. Those are junk. The steel is soft. They're just junk. But anyway, those machine easy. Tool steel ones, not so much. But yeah. So that's the comments on the three-wheeler. Keep watching. 2 more videos coming up on that. Owner got it out of here quick, so it's long gone. Well, I got kind of a funny story I might save about that for later on. But anyway, that's all I got for you today on this. See you all later. Keep watching. Videos are going to keep coming. Bye. Men, if you like this channel and this content, the single most important thing you could do to help grow this channel is to hit the subscribe button. I also have new design coffee cups and stickers available. I like the old coffee cups, but I like these new ones even more. Links are included in the description down below. And for those of you who really want to go the extra mile, you could join me on Patreon. Link is also included in the description down below. And to all of you who have watched these videos, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye.